Okay, sit yourself onto a lift. Just come into a good cross-legged position. With a little wriggle about. Make sure that you are sitting evenly and then hold onto your knee. Lift up into your chest, elevate the heart area upwards and draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Look down at the floor, look at something that isn't moving. Soften your jaw, soften your tongue, soften your throat. Allow your eyes to settle and to soften, looking at something that doesn't move. Focus on filling your lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying your lungs from the top to the bottom. Release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste, push the palms firmly together, lengthen your armpits into your elbows into the heels of your hands, the heels of your hands into the fingertips. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Focus on filling the lungs evenly. Allowing the chest to expand upwards and outwards without resistance. Allowing the chest to expand to maximize the intake of energy from every breath. Breath also draws our attention into the present moment. And that is a valuable facet of the breath. Gently draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lift your chest up to meet your chin. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area and release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. Gesture of wisdom, physical intelligence, and peacefulness. that we can carry into our practice as an intention. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, elevating the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across, your ribs and your shoulders, elevating the heart area to the ceiling, using your out breath to intensify the turn. Just draw your attention into the body's response to the pose. Observing resistance, but also observing freedom, that lack of resistance in other parts of the body. Divide your attention evenly between those two. Come back to the center, hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Drawing your abdomen across and your ribs and your shoulders. And then gently come back to the center. Just hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, elevate the heart area upwards, and then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lift the chest up to meet the chin. Draw your shoulders consciously away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation and then raise the chin up to the ceiling. Just be gentle if raising the chin creates difficulty for the breath or any other unpleasant symptoms. Otherwise, push the chin to the ceiling. Take a deep inhalation and then draw the chin down to meet the chest, shoulders away from the ears. And then with an out breath, raising the chin to the ceiling or just as far as you are comfortable to do so. And then bring the head back level. Bring the right ear over towards the right shoulder, keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. Just feeling that deep stretch on the left side of the neck. And then come back to the center and then left ear to left shoulder, feeling that stretch on the right side of the neck. Take a deep inhalation, come back to the center with the exhalation and then over to the right with the exhalation. Take a deep inhalation and then with the exhalation come back to the center and over to the left. Just stretching out the neck, nice and gently. And then with an exhalation come back to the center. Come off your lift and then sit back on your heels for Adho Mukha Virasana. Press the tops of the feet consciously into the floor, press the shins into the floor activate the thighs. Really feel that you can press the shin bone into the shin skin so that the thighs activate. When the thighs activate, you can activate into the spine more efficiently. Come forwards, hinging at the hips. If there's restriction in your back, you can use a bolster to stretch along the bolster, but it can feel nice to just stretch out the back. Keep the head lifted initially, stretch the arms away, and then finally bring the forehead down. Have a block underneath your head if your head doesn't reach the floor, or if you lose contact between the seat bones and the heels. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Stretching into the arms, keeping the arms straight, keeping the forearms off the floor. Squeezing the outer elbows inwards to straighten the arms. Press the palms into the floor. Turn the tailbone in. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And then bring your arms to the sides of the body for the traditional child's pose. If it feels heavy on your forehead, then extend consciously from the shoulders into the fingertips, straightening the arms. Listen to the breath. And then push your hands into the floor, bring yourself up into a seated position. If there was pressure on your forehead, then perhaps the brain feels a little quieter. Just fill your lungs from the bottom to the top, allowing them to expand in 3 dimensions. So feeling that the armpit chest expands, feeling that the back chest expands, the front chest expands. Filling the lungs with positive energy. If you're not doing dog down, then you could do dandasana or supta baddha. Otherwise, have your little fingers on the edge of the mat, stretch the thumbs towards each other, turn the toes under, have your feet as wide apart as your mat, and then come up into dog down. Just feel your body in the pose. Observe how it feels. Where there is resistance, acknowledging whether that is new resistance or typical resistance. Observe the balance of action. Regardless of the pose you were doing, observe from the inside. Observe how the pose feels. Observe how you are activating your pose from the inside. Aim to work both legs evenly, both arms evenly, to distribute your effort evenly between the legs, between the arms. Feeling the lungs in 3 dimensions. Step your feet forwards. Come up into a standing position. And then get some blocks for your hands for half uttanasana. Bring your feet as wide apart as your mat. Just make sure that your feet are in line with each other. turning your toes in. Have the hands on the hips, lift up into the chest. Look forwards. Feel that the outside edge of the foot is in line with the edge of the mat. Feel that the little toe is on the edge of the mat. Tighten your kneecaps, turn the fronts of the thighs consciously inwards. Squeeze the elbows together, lift up into the chest. Keep the head lifted as you hinge at the hips. And then reach down. Find the blocks underneath your shoulders. Go back to observing the feeling of the pose, drawing your attention into the present moment. The present moment is always something that we are in control of. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath, listening to our balance of internal action. If you go down lower, then do. If you've got a bad back, it's usually better to stay on the higher lift, but just feel that in your back for yourself. If you can reach down to the floor without losing extension and lift of the legs, then do. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, keeping the kneecaps tight and keeping the fronts of the thighs hitting to the backs of the thighs, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, the backs of the thighs broaden outwards. Pick up the seat bones, lift the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs. Project the chin and the chest forwards. And then bring your hands into your hips, bend your knees on the way up. And then come up into Tadasana. Just feel the change of your energy. Have the big toes together. Big toes together, the heels together, and then spread the toes. Turn the fronts of the shins and the thighs inwards, tuck the tailbone in. Draw the belly button to the spine, lift up into the chest. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Turn the palms all the way out, rotating the upper arms in the sockets. Keeping the legs really firmly activated, hitting the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Hitting the shins back so that your weight is in your heels, tucking the tailbone in without disturbing the legs. And then gently release. Just get yourself a belt and put the belt over the right arm, or the right shoulder for gomukhsasana. Just be back in Tadasana. Spreading the toes, inner edge of the feet together. Lift up into the heart area. Stretch your left arm forwards, really spreading the fingers of both arms. Turn the left hand all the way out, rotating the upper arm in the socket as you do so. And then reach behind you, but keeping that upper arm rotating in the socket, even if you drop your chest as you do so. Then at the last minute, bend the elbow and assist the arm up towards the neck. And reach up with the right arm, reach to the ceiling. Keep reaching that hand behind you up towards, fingers up towards the neck, and then bend the top elbow. Keep the elbow high, and then see, can you take hold? If you can't take hold of the other hand, then just take hold of the belt wherever you are able. So on this side, I can usually take hold On the other side, not always, not first attempt anyway. Just feel what the body is feeling right now. Allow it to draw your attention into the present moment. Pulling the elbows apart. Keeping the hands working towards each other. Lifting the top elbow to the ceiling, pulling the bottom elbow to the floor. Keeping the legs firmly in Tadasana. Filling the lungs evenly. Observing that the upper arm side probably expands it more easily than the lower arm. So work to breathe evenly into both lungs. And then release the top arm. Just drop the chest a little, release the arm from behind the back. It may feel like it's stuck, but don't worry, it's not stuck. Stretch your arms down and then turn the palms. Just feel that opening in the shoulders, how it feels a little different, maybe a little freer, maybe a little warmer. Maybe both shoulders don't feel even, so that's why we do the pose on both sides. Just feel the difference in the shoulders at this stage. Okay, and then soften. Put the belt over onto the left shoulder this time. So for this shoulder, this is always my stiffer shoulder. So sometimes I need the belt for this side. So I suspect this morning is one of those. So let's just come back into Tadasana. Lift up into the chest. Stretch the right arm forwards, really spread in the fingers, and then turn the palm all the way out. Again, rotating right from the start, rotating the upper arm in the socket. And then continue to rotate the upper arm in the socket, even if you drop the chest, and then again assist that arm up towards the neck, that hand up towards the neck. Reach up with the left arm, just enjoy that freedom from the previous pose, that space you have in your shoulders, and then reach down and see if you can find the fingertips. So again, I'm a little way away this side, so I'll use the belt to start off with, and then perhaps I'll go to the hands in a moment. But just wherever you've got, hold, then just appreciate that. Just acknowledge the way that you are holding the belt or the hands, and then pull the elbows apart. Just a little bit at a time. Creep the hands closer together. Keeping the legs in Tadasana. Tucking the tailbone in, drawing the abdomen to the spine, drawing the lower ribs to the spine, lifting up into the heart area. Sometimes it helps to lift the toes, sharpens the actions of the legs. Keep creeping the hands ever closer, and then, yeah, I can just about get hold on this side. So I'm going to the hands rather than the belt now. But you know, just do whatever is possible for you. Again, breathe evenly into the lungs, observing if there is an imbalance in the ability to breathe into both lungs. Is it easier to breathe into one lung than the other? Is there a difference to the other side? Keep creeping the hands ever closer together. Okay, and then release top arm. Gently release the bottom arm. And then come back into Tadasana, turning the the shoulder, turning the palms all the way out, broadening the collarbone, turning the upper arms in the socket. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Okay, and then gently release the belt, and then just come back into Tadasana, lift up into the chest. Elevate the heart area to the ceiling, bring your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest, and then step or jump your feet, go nice and wide for virabhadrasana 2. So turn your left toes in, stretch out into the little toe side. Turn the right leg and foot all the way out, and then straighten both legs. And bring the chest to face the front. So often the chest wants to go over with the leg. Bring the legs to, the chest to face the front. So this back leg is going to stay straight. So tighten the kneecap really firmly. Press the front of the knee through to the back of the knee, and then we're going to bend this front leg, turning, bending the knee, finding a right angle. So if you can see your video on the screen, then find that right angle. Keep pushing into this back foot. So try not to lunge over to that bent knee. Find the right angle, lift the spine up towards the ceiling, and then stretch your arms out. Look over the middle finger, keeping that back leg straight, keeping the outside edge of that back foot down on the floor. Turning the thighs from the inside out. Turning the fronts of the thighs from the big toe to the little toe side. Both legs. And then straighten the leg. Bring the feet, swap the feet around, turn the right toes in, left leg and foot all the way out, and then come to face the front. So these legs need to turn outwards. It's the opposite of Tadasana for these kind of forward facing standing poses. So turn the legs outwards. It's the same as Trikonasana. So keep this back leg straightened, put your hands on your hips, and then bend the front knee. Find a right angle. You should be able to put your dinner plate on the thigh, and it should keep everything on the plate. Push firmly into that back leg. Tighten the kneecap. Keep bending the knee. Reach the chest directly to the ceiling. Stretch your arms over. And then look over the middle finger of the left hand. Keep the breath soft. Keep pushing into that back heel and the outside edge of the foot. And then straighten the leg. Bring the feet parallel. And step or jump, feet back together. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Listening to the breath. So breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then we're going to do half uttanasana with the hands elevated. So using like the back of a chair or a tabletop or a windowsill, have your feet hip width apart and turn your toes in. And then hinge at the hips, reach the arms towards the lift. Have the little finger side of the hand press in onto the lift. And then activate the legs, lengthen the legs away. So it's almost like someone's pulling your legs away from your arms. Push your hands down onto the floor and hit your legs firmly away. Lengthening in through the nose, lengthening from the hips into the spine, into the armpits into the elbows, the wrists, the palms, the fingertips, the fingernails, hitting the legs in the opposite direction, just stretching out the back. Keep your head lifted. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards and hit the legs away. Lift the seat bones. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards so the backs of the thighs broaden. Then pick up the seat bones a little more. Draw the belly button towards the spine. Keep looking forwards. Try not to drop your head. And then step yourself forwards, come up into a standing position. And then come back into Tadasana. Just feel the energy of the chest. Feel the energy of the arms. Just listen to the sound of the breath. Okay, we're going to come down onto the floor, and I want you to use a bolster. If you haven't got a bolster, you can use some cushion. I'm going to give you an alternative pose to do. Now, some people can do this pose. We can do supta virasana. Some people can do this pose just with the bolster, just the bolster on its own. Andrew, I don't want you to do this one. I want you to do supta baddha instead, because I think you had a bad reaction to supta virasana a while ago. So if you're not doing, so this is supta virasana. I'll show you the alternative. So you're going to come back, big toes underneath, behind the backs of the knees, roll the calves out to the side, and then you lift the chest, really consciously lift the chest, and then you come onto your elbows and guide yourself down onto the floor. If your head rolls back, you put a folded blanket underneath your head just to support to come out. You push your elbows into the floor, then you lift the chest first. Always come forward with the chest first, and then we'll do dog down. If you're not doing supta virasana, you can do supta baddha. Pull in the feet towards you, knees are together, feet together, knees apart, and then guide yourself along the bolster this way. And if there's stiffness in your hips, you can put some blocks underneath your thighs. Now, if the bolster feels too low, then you can put it on a little ramp. So you have a block on its low end, block on its high end, and then you create yourself a little ramp. Make sure it feels reasonably secure, well, fully secure, and then you go back into the pose, just guiding yourself down along the ramp. And again, if your head rolls back, you put a block underneath your head. So some people don't really like this pose very much, but it's a really good one. It's especially good for stiff backs, which you might be surprised about. But it's a really beneficial pose. If you've got stiff knees, then put belts into the backs of your knees, or do supta baddha if you aren't comfortable with coming back. So find the pose that you are going to stay in, and then guide yourself back down and just rest with your head on the left. And then let your arms rest onto the floor. Now, in supta virasana, it can feel a little uncomfortable. So there's a number of things that can go wrong. So the first one is that your knees want to slip apart. So try and keep the knees together as much as you possibly can. And then it can feel a bit uncomfortable in the lumbar if you're going all the way back. So pick up the seat bones and then lengthen the tailbone away from the lumbar, away from the sacrum, drawing the tailbone towards the ceiling. Draw the belly button towards the spine. You can even get hold of the buttock flesh and draw the buttock flesh downwards towards the knees. If you need more support under your back, then just adjust your position. And once you have found comfort within the pose, then allow yourself just to enjoy it. Fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. So whichever pose you are in, stretch your arms up to the ceiling, interlock the fingers, turn the palms all the way out, and then extend your arms along the floor. Extend your arms along, well, you probably won't reach the floor if you've got the bolster. Extend your arms beyond your head. Draw in the belly button to the spine. Keep turning the fronts of the thighs inwards so that you keep the knees together. Keep the tailbone tucking forwards towards the ceiling. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Supta, virasana. So it can feel strong on the quads, but if it feels too strong, if you can't keep your knees down on the floor, then give yourself more lift. Use the ramp if it's uncomfortable. Or if you can't you keep the knees together, just lift yourself up a little bit more and use the ramp. Bring your arms back and then swap the interlock of the fingers. Do the unnatural interlock of the fingers, so the other index finger is on the top of the stack, and then extend your arms away. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, just engaging in the sensations of the pose. Draw your breath in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Lengthen from the knees and into the toes. Try and keep the little toe side of the foot in connection with the floor. Roll the heels away from the sides of the body. That's an instruction for supta virasana, not for supta baddha. That won't make much sense in supta baddha. In supta baddha, feel that you can extend from the inner groin into the knees, from the inner heels into the knees. Okay, release your arms. Just rest your arms at the sides of the body. Okay, and then bring your elbows onto the floor. Keep lifting with the chest. Come up onto your hands and then just come up onto your knees. And then if you're in supta virasana, you'll want to stretch out your legs. So you can either do that by going into dandasana, stretching the legs away, or turn the toes under and then come up into dog down. So if you're in supta baddha and dog down is okay for you, then you can come up into dog down as well. Otherwise, do dandasana, stretching out the legs. Just allowing the legs to gently straighten. Bringing the kneecaps through to the back of the knee, just gently. And then after supta virasana, it's really nice just to bring the heels down, just to stretch out the calves, keep the shins pushing towards the calf muscles. Just keep turning those shins inwards, just feeling that stretch. And then come into, then lift the heels and just lift the seat bones. Okay, and then down onto your knees, and then just sit directly on your bolster, and then come into cross legs, just swastikasana. So hold onto your knees, Lift up into the chest and elevate the heart area up to the ceiling. Observe your breath. Observe how your energy has changed. Listen to the sound of the inhalation and the exhalation. Take a deep inhalation, and then you might need a block for your hand if you're sitting on the bolster. Turn to the right side. Dig in the back hand into the floor or into the bolster or into the block behind you. Really draw the abdomen across. Draw the abdomen across so that the belly button points at that right knee and beyond it. Feel that you are sitting evenly on both seat bones. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest, and then turn to the left again. Dig in the back hand into the bolster or into a block behind you. And draw the abdomen across, the ribs across, the shoulders across. So supta virasana is one of those poses that is kind of unpopular until you really find it. I never used to be a big fan, but once I kind of allowed myself to be comfortable in it, then it really changed. But whether or not you enjoyed it, observe the energy of the body now. Same goes for supta baddha. Most people like that, but just feel how the body responds to supta virasana, supta baddha. The energy that has changed. Come back to the center. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, feeling that sense of tranquility and calm that comes over the brain when we have practiced with focus. And then just sit yourself off your bolster, but we're going to stay with the bolster. So just come down onto your back and pull your knees in toward your chest. Get the bolster, lift the seat bones, bring the bolster underneath the lower back, supporting the bottom of the lumbar and the tailbone region. Hold onto the bolster, bend your knees in towards your chest, and then raise your legs up in the air. Gather your shoulder blades together so you stay right up on your shoulders, so that your chest stays lifted. So don't stay upside down too long if you're on a period, or if you've got high or low blood pressure that isn't being controlled with medication, or if you've got a heart condition. Don't stay upside down for too long. Just stay with the bolster, but you can bring the feet back down onto the floor in those cases. Also, eye or ear infections, best not to bring yourself upside down. So bringing that legs down onto the floor, you can just stay with the bolster underneath you. Otherwise, extend into the legs like you're doing Tadasana, pushing into the heels, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, keeping the chest lifted. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then bend your knees. Bring your feet down onto the floor. Just stay with the bolster underneath you for a moment or two. Let the body relax into the pose for a moment. And then lift the seat bones. Just slide the bolster away. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. And then have the bolster again. Put that underneath your knees. Have a folded blanket underneath your head if your head rolls back. Make sure you're in a really good straight line. Right down the centre of the mat. And then allow your body to just release into the ground. Just allowing the body to completely release into the ground, letting the muscles of the legs and the arms unhook so that the body becomes heavy. The physical body becomes heavy, but the energetic body feels light, radiating positive energy from the bones and into the muscles, into the organs. Into the flesh and the skin, using your breath to distribute the feeling into the toes, into the fingertips and up into the top of the head, everywhere in between. basking in that feeling of energetic lightness, enjoying that feeling of physical tranquility. And then wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster, have the feet apart, the knees together, just resting your back into the floor. And then draw your knees in towards your chest, have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage, and then roll over onto your right side. Stay down for a breath or two. And then stretch out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. And then come into cross legs with your hands in the masti. Final spinal lift, rolling onto the front edge of the seat bones, drawing your breath in through the nose down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you've released through your practice this morning. A good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin in to meet your chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you've created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb, the gesture of wisdom, physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry into our practice. Just raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open, and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel as though you've really lifted your energy and given yourself some good, positive energy to put into your day. Thank you very much for joining me.